Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lance Willard with the Willard Home Team. Today we're going to discuss what to look out for when purchasing a home in Florida. So one of the cool things about the Florida real estate market is that it's very diverse. It's somewhat like a melting pot. So you've got somewhat of a country feel, a beach feel, and then we've got our really suburban neighborhoods, master plan communities. So you've got plenty of options. So when I'm working with a lot of buyers that are coming in from out of state, I always touch on the fun stuff of our Florida landscape. And alligators is one of the hot topics that everyone wants to know about.
Well, he is a 4-year-old American alligator. He was rescued in Orlando, Florida.
When you're purchasing a home that backs to fresh water, just know that you may have alligators in the fresh water behind you. And if there's no fence, you definitely can put up a low fence. You definitely don't want to block the water view, but you want to protect your pets, you want to protect your family, and protect yourself against gators coming up in your yard. Pretty simply, when you look at Florida, the entire state of Florida, you're bound to be purchasing a home in a flood zone. And what does a flood zone mean? What does it cost? Are really the two big questions that everyone has when moving in from out of state. And I kind of break it down very simply. You're probably going to be buying in a flood zone. It doesn't mean that your home is going to be flooded. When I talk to people about purchasing in a flood zone, it really comes down to your budget. If you want to wrap flood insurance into your property. And so if you don't want to have that added expense, I'd say don't look for a home in a flood zone. And if you can't afford the added expense, just don't worry about being in a flood zone. Hurricanes. I get asked this question all the time. The last huge hurricane the Tampa Bay area had was in 1925. Most of the time the East Coast is getting hit, Miami and north of Miami, and then also straight up the Gulf in the Panhandle. So the Tampa Bay area really doesn't get affected much by hurricanes. However, it is something that happens in the state of Florida. It is not the end of the world when hurricanes come through. It's actually pretty funny to watch the newbies in Florida pack up their cars, put their storm shutters on and take off out of the area. I've personally weathered through hurricanes in my house and with no problems. Roofs and windows in the Florida market. Have a lot of people coming from up north where it's super cold. They're very concerned about windows and also concerned about windows due to hurricanes. And I'll tell you from personal experience and from the hundreds of people that I've helped with purchasing homes, it is not that imperative unless you're living on the water. So if you're living on the water, you definitely want hurricane impact windows. When you come inland, it's not so important. Roofs in our market. So our core market in the state of Florida was built between, let's say, 1970 and 1990. You can imagine that roofs are definitely a hot topic when purchasing a home. And once you get here and get into the process of purchasing a home, that's definitely part of the home inspection. And as long as your roof has at least 3 to 5 years of life left on it, it's really not something to worry about. And I've always had sellers willing to replace a roof for the new homeowner. So another big topic in the Florida market is sinkhole remediation. And this is a huge topic, and there's a lot of information to go over in regards to this. So just touching on it briefly, if you have sinkhole remediation, does not mean that you have a huge gaping hole underneath your home. Sinkhole remediation is basically remediation of the foundation, and engineers do have to label any foundation movement in the state of Florida a sinkhole. But it does not mean that you have a sinkhole under your property. But once you get in Florida and I'm helping you out with buying a home, we'll go over that in greater detail, but it's definitely not something to worry about. So those are most of the big topics that everyone wants to talk about. If you have specific questions and you plan on moving to the state of Florida, my website link is down below. Feel free to contact me. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.